Hi there, business owner. Are you looking to improve your business knowledge? Do you want to see behind the scenes of successful businesses? And more importantly, are you looking to build a better business in just 15 minutes each week? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the 3Bs podcast.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast, your go-to show to build a better business in 15 minutes each week. And in this week, I have the amazing guest, Ashley Leeds with us. Ashley, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, it's the 15 minutes I love. I'm the 15-minute guy because I teach people how to stand out on LinkedIn in just 15 minutes a day.
Yes, and a little surprise for Ashley is that he doesn't know this, but he's actually the inspiration. So Ashley, you're the inspiration for the 3Bs podcast being 15 minutes each week, because I did a couple of your workshops a couple of years ago and you were the inspiration. So thank you for doing all you do, because this wouldn't have existed without it.
Bless you. Oh, that is, I'm touched, absolutely touched. You don't know what you're doing when you're in your little shed in Devon, but if what you do inspires people and gets people to do things, that's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, 15 minutes is just the perfect time, isn't it?
I think so, and I'm assuming you do too. So I'm the 15-minute girl and you're the 15-minute guy, although you were definitely it first. I'm not claiming the crown for that one.
Bless you. Some people call me the 15-minute man, and I don't know, it doesn't have the same ring, does it?
I think it's down to personal preference, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we are here today to talk about LinkedIn because it's my favourite social media platform. You are the expert in this industry, in this field that I know of. So why should business owners use LinkedIn?
They should use LinkedIn so that people know what they do. Years ago, we would have something called the Yellow Pages, or we'd put adverts in the local newspaper and stuff like that. Things have moved on. And if we're not on social media, we do not exist. And that's the bottom line. Now, LinkedIn is probably the best packaged social media platform for people to find business owners. There's 1 billion business owners there's 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and a lot of those are business owners, entrepreneurs, and they're all buying stuff and services to help them run their business. So why wouldn't you be on LinkedIn?
So you think every business owner should be LinkedIn? There's not any types of business owners you think that LinkedIn wouldn't be good for?
Not at all. Not at all. Every single business should be on LinkedIn. And it's just understanding how to do it a little bit differently. I live in a seaside town, and at the top, and it's a retirement town, and at the top of the town is a mobility shop. So they sell scooters and walking sticks and frames and all that sort of stuff. And I was chatting to the owner, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not on LinkedIn." And I said, "Why not?" He says, "Well, my customers aren't on LinkedIn." He's looking at it wrong. So yes, his customers are, 70, 80, 90, infirm, don't use social media, don't use computers, all that sort of stuff. Correct. He's right. But, and this is the thing that we need to get our head around. If he drops content every single week about the latest devices, aids, things to help old people, okay, I'm going to see it. And when he tells us about something that makes it easier if you've got bad hips, I'm going to want to know all about that because my dad has bad hips. Okay. And then I'm going to turn around to my dad and say, "Hey, have you heard about the XK5000 walking frame? Because it is amazing." All right. I'm not going to know about this because this guy isn't doing content. And it could be the mobility shop. It could be the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. But if we're not hearing about it, you might as well be invisible.
Yeah, I've never thought of it like that, actually. It's the first time that's made me sort of put a light bulb on in my brain, is that your customers might not be there. Because I've always said, you need to hang out where your customers hang out. It's something we've said before on the podcast. But actually, people, especially in the aging population, people who their children or their friends will be on LinkedIn or will be in those places, and they're then going to say, "Oh, well, so-and-so said, have you looked into this?" And actually, we've said this before, it's not what you know, it's who you know, in business and in life, really. So with LinkedIn, you say 15 minutes a day is enough.
It's a start, all right. But the thing is, right, you turn around and say, go on LinkedIn, and this is how the average person does LinkedIn. They go on, they have a look. They go down this rabbit hole, that whole rabbit hole. They've been on for a whole hour, achieved nothing, done nothing, and they'll turn around to you and go, it doesn't work.
Guilty.
All right. Or they'll go on and they'll update the CV bit of their profile because that's the best way to find a job. All right. But they're forgetting about it. Have you ever been to a networking meeting, Stephanie?
Yes, lots of them.
Right. Okay. So if you went to a networking meeting every single day, do you reckon you would get business?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a no-brainer. So if you think of LinkedIn as this global networking platform, okay, it's a global networking meeting 24/7 with 1 billion people on it, that is what you should be thinking about. Okay,
Yeah.
So turn up, show up, engage, do stuff, and then people will start to know you. Then they'll start to like you, and then they'll start to trust you. And then that's where you get business, because people want to buy from people who they know, like, and trust. I'm not sure the last time you bought something, major, but was it from somebody you didn't like?
No.
No.
And I guess what I like about LinkedIn is I can go to a networking event in my pajamas. That's always good.
That's the beauty of LinkedIn. I don't, and some people do LinkedIn when they're on the lavatory, so you never know.
I can see your book in the background. I have a copy of that book. In fact, I think I won it at Accountex a couple of years ago.
Wow.
What is the book, and who is it great for?
The book is great for people that don't know what to write about. So the book is called 101 Ideas for Content. All right, let me just get a copy and show it to you. And I say 101, I should change the title because it's 102 actually, because if you grab hold of it and take a selfie of you with it, that's another one. But basically in here is 101 different ideas for content, because I train all these people, and all these people love getting onto LinkedIn, doing exactly what you're doing, but they all say to me, I do not know what to write about. And the thing is, content is absolutely everywhere. Just looking in the background, you've got some sunflowers, you've got zero thing behind you, you've got a load of books. Okay, there's 3 different things we could talk about just like that, because content is everywhere. In fact, I think there's about 6 or 8 books there. That's 6 or 8 posts. This is a book that I read recently. This is what I like about it. This is what I don't like about it. This is how it's going to help you in your business. And because I've been doing content for so long, I see content absolutely everywhere. And I come in, a lot of people sort of like, they batch their content. I come in here first thing in the morning, right, what am I going to write about today? I'm like, oh, I know. And I had a great idea what I was going to write about today. I'm doing a talk in Hereford tomorrow, and I'm traveling up to Hereford later on today. And I was going to talk about the talk. But as I was going to get my morning cup of tea, so walking out in the rain to the house, I know what I'll do. And so basically I came back and I took photos of my piles of stuff that I'm putting in the car, wrote out a list on a piece of paper, took a photo of that, and then made that the post. So it was all about, how do you remember stuff? Do you have anxiety when you travel? That relates more to people than standing on stage talking. But it's also getting the message out that there are a few tickets left at this event tomorrow. So it's just thinking about stuff. But if you do get stuck, there is a book.
Absolutely. I must have learned it from you, because I do it. I'll go food shopping on a weekend, and something will catch my eye, and I'll go, oh, I can write content about that.
Oh my goodness, well done.
Yeah, I'll go shopping, and I think I went to Blue Water Shopping Centre a few Saturdays ago, and they've got the Boots shop here, and then they've got the Pharmacy Superdrug here. They're literally opposite each other, and it's like the competitive lesson. Like, they're literally next to each other. They're not bothered about stepping on each other's toes. They just want to make more sales. And
yeah,
as business owners, especially, I'm quite introverted naturally, which, believe it or not, but I think those that are too scared to talk about the things that you do or they do, I have other bookkeepers on the podcast. I'm more than happy to support all of us if we do a similar thing. I have fellow podcasters like yourself on the podcast. It really is collaboration, and I think LinkedIn is the key, like you say, to building those relationships, those know, like, and trust, even if you're not going to buy from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all about networking. It's all about networking. You just said it's who you know. And this is the thing. And if you're not on LinkedIn, you're not going to know anybody. I had a chat with somebody yesterday, and they're talking about, she's the LinkedIn specialist for the team. And, we need to support her. And I said, well, with all due respect, we need to look at the whole team. The managing director of the company she works for, I could not see his photo on LinkedIn. He doesn't have a banner, and he hasn't posted for 9 months. Now, if the managing director of a company isn't utilizing LinkedIn, then what is the point for that company? And the reason his photo isn't showing is probably he's got his settings incorrect. But, if you're running a business, you're the face of that business. I bet he goes to loads of networking meetings. I bet he spends a lot of time on the golf course, talking to other business owners. Why isn't he doing the same on LinkedIn? And it really is 15 minutes a day. And if you don't believe me, 50 minutes a day adds up to 65 hours a year. Now, if I turned around to that owner of that business and say, hey, how would you like 65 hours of free marketing every year? He would bite my hand off.
Absolutely. And talking about banners and profiles, I know you're really good at auditing LinkedIn profiles. So what is the one thing that a listener can do today on LinkedIn, or a watcher if they're on YouTube, to help them build a better business?
Well, I'll tell you what they should do is they should get in contact with me, because I do a free audit. And what I'll do is I'll look at their profile and I'll do a little video. And I'll tell them about their photo, because your photo, that's how we build know, like, and trust. Okay. And as I get grayer and grayer and grayer, I have to keep putting a new photo up. Okay. And I've been to meetings to see somebody, and they've got no hair now. But the photo, they've got hair, short maybe, but they've got no hair. Like, why aren't you representing yourself on your photo? Ladies are worse, no disrespect, Stephanie, but you change your hair color all the time. And stuff like that. It's just like, I'm sat here and I'm looking at your profile, and I'm expecting someone with dark hair, and it's someone with blonde hair or red hair or green hair. And you're like, oh my goodness. So yeah, make sure your photo is up to date. The headline, which is, it's normally a job title underneath your name. Most people it defaults to your job title. There's nothing more boring than your job title. So come up with something a little bit different, which is why I'm the 15-minute guy. So maybe you should change yours to the 15-minute girl.
Maybe, absolutely. And you were saying to me before, like we've spoken previously, about the banner image. It shouldn't just be an image. It should be what you do.
Absolutely. If you've got a shop or a shop front, what have you got written above your shop front so that people know who you are and what you do? If you've got a van, you're driving a van, you're not just going to drive a white van. You're going to have, you're a plumber or whatever. We fix bathrooms and make your house look wonderful. All of that is what you should have on your banner, so that when I look at your banner, when I look at your profile on LinkedIn, straight away you pop out and I go, exactly what you do, how you do it, and who you help. Because yeah, you're an accountant, but you're an accountant that you do a specialist thing, which makes you stand out from all the other accountants. So put that all over your banner so I can see it. And make sure that you use a really big font so I can read it on my mobile phone, because your banner on my mobile phone is the size of my finger, which is 1.5 by 6.5 centimeters. So it's tiny.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I will definitely revisit it today, I promise. And I have to ask you, because it's driving me insane, why is there a Canadian flag behind you?
I'm a big fan of maple syrup. No, the reason for the flag, Stephanie, is it's just proof that LinkedIn works. Because I say to people 15 minutes a day, and they're going, oh yeah, like it works. I promise you, it works. I walk the talk, I talk the talk, I got the t-shirt. And so a couple of years ago, I did a post about scope creep, and Lorraine Ellison from SEMA saw it, and she said, this resonates with our members. Can you come and do a talk at our event? And I went, oh my goodness, I'm not a public speaker, but yeah, I'll give it a go. Never say no to anything, Stephanie. And so I went along, and they loved what I did, and they wanted me back the following year to do the closing keynote. So they that's really big. So I was really pleased with that. That led to me doing some stuff with Accountex. It led to me doing stuff with Team 17, where I was on the same stage as Patrick Keelty. I did ProfitCom, where I was on the same stage as Mike Michalowicz and Daniel Priestley. His book's down there. And so I've done all these amazing talks. And in November, I am going to Canada, Stephanie. They are paying to get me to Canada to do Accountex. Now, I'm sure there's somebody in Canada that does LinkedIn, but they obviously see me as an expert, as somebody that helps the industry and stuff like that. And it's all because of what I do on LinkedIn. It's for no other reason. Because if I wasn't doing it on LinkedIn, nobody would know who I was. So if you're worried about going on LinkedIn, just go for it and just see what happens, because you never know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I am going to put the link in the show notes so that they can contact you. LinkedIn is the best place, I presume.
Oh, absolutely. Even my daughter messages me on LinkedIn now because I don't answer any messages anywhere else.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for joining us. I really hope the listeners have enjoyed that and they find it really useful, and that they come and find us on LinkedIn. I will pop the link in the show notes so that you can do their free LinkedIn bio audit if they'd like to. And I hope you have a great time in Hereford, did you say, tomorrow? And then Canada.
Off to Hereford and then Canada, yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
And, it is amazing. It is amazing. But it's all because I have been consistent, and that's all it takes. 15 minutes a day and it'll work.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And to the rest of the listeners, I will see you next week for the next episode.
Thank you, Stephanie. Bye-bye.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of the 3Bs podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Please connect with us on social media. Like, rate and review wherever you are listening to this podcast so that I can help more business owners build a better business. See you next week.